chef. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. He be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate to
B2K stayed and I'm getting arrested.
She worked at Cracker Barrel before she got killed. At the time she got killed, and while she got killed. For the record, look how close the tower is to the fucking exit where she left the bar, and while she was in the bar. Understand what I'm saying? Whatever's going on in the bar with the microwave hearing and the manipulation of actors, and if she was drugged in her drink, or if the manufacturers had LS-27 or any kind of other chemicals, LSA and LSD in the drink. Check this out though, look how close it is. It's like 50 feet from the building. I don't know how far I'll look up how far the signal can go to manipulate the nervous system. This is where she would climb down. This is where she would have got on a train right there. It dragged her all the way here. When I got off house arrest and I walked, first thing I did was walk there. There's still blood on the track. And in relation to where she died even, from where she got on the train. Look how close that shit is. Watch out, everyone. Yes, I'm with you. Look up, I forget his name, he's a whistleblower. And Barry Trowell.
The five men arrested in a foil plot. The five men arrested in a foil plot. The five men arrested in a foil. The five men arrested in a foil plot to blow. The five men arrested in a foil plot to blow up the Route 82 bridge over Cuyahoga Valley National Park have been indicted. Douglas Wright, Brandon Baxter, Anthony Hain, Connor Stevens, and Joshua Stafford each face 3 charges, including attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction. 2 of the charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb.
And I'm Lee Jordan. Meanwhile, new information helped the FBI now.
A weapon of mass destruction. 2 of the charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb.
And I'm Lee Jordan. Meanwhile, we're learning new information tonight about the informant who helped the FBI nab the suspects. News Channel 5's Paul Kiska spoke to one of the suspects' lawyers today.
Well, Lee, the attorney says his client was coached and entrapped by the FBI's source and questions the source's credibility.
One of the suspect's lawyers today.
Well, Lee, the attorney says his client was coached and entrapped by the FBI's source and questions the source's credibility.
One of the suspect's lawyers today.
Well, Lee, the attorney says his client was coached and entrapped by the FBI's source and questions the source's credibility. The federal affidavit disclosed that the source had a criminal history and was paid more than $6,000 for working with the FBI in this case. However, the paid source also has several open cases. 39-year-old Shaquille Azir, a.k.a. Kelvin Jackson, identified in a national report and confirmed by News Channel 5, has 2 open felony cases for writing bad checks and theft in the Cleveland area, plus a probation violation in Lorain County. Azir, who was paid to work with the FBI, was to face a judge just last week in one of his criminal cases, but that hearing was rescheduled. Police wrote in this report last year that Azir hired a group of men to load cabinets he bought. The check for the cabinets was no good. Azir's last known address was at this house. Someone who answered the door today said Azir was her landlord.
Oh, he's not here, so
Okay, when will he be home?
he doesn't live here anymore.
It's kind of troubling what the government did here. John Pyle, the attorney for 20-year-old co-defendant Brandon Baxter, said his client identified Azir as the man who approached them last fall at Occupy Cleveland, but ended up being a paid FBI source.
It's shaping up like a genuine entrapment case.
Pyle says when it came to said his client identified.
It's shaping up like a genuine entrapment case. It's shaping up like a genuine entrapment case.
Pyle says when it came to hatching a bomb plot, the defendants had no money, no means, and no experience, all of which were supplied by what Pyle calls FBI orchestrators.
FBI orchestrators' hands.
Pyle says when it came to hatching a bomb plot, the defendants had no money, no means, and no experience, all of which were supplied by what Pyle calls FBI orchestrators.
FBI orchestrators' hands were not on those. FBI orchestrators' hands were not on those fake detonation devices. I mean, that much is true. But that's downstream. I mean, this started back in October of 2011, and during those months, there was a lot of encouragement. Started back in October of 2011, and during those months, there was a lot of encouragement, facilitating going on by on those fake detonation devices. I mean, that much is true, but that's downstream. I mean, this started back in October of 2011, and during those months, there was a lot of encouragement, facilitating going on by the FBI that led to what happened at the end of April.
Now, a federal spokesperson had no comment today on the claims made by Baxter's attorney.
Paul, do we have any idea where Azir is now?
Well, a neighbor told me he moved out of that Maple Heights house back in March, really just more than a few weeks ago after a dispute with another neighbor, and it's not known tonight if the government has placed Azir in hiding.
All right, Paul, thanks very much.
I called out that whole entrapment group, for the record.
It's not about what the groups are part of, dude, because the same groups that are trying to target these individuals are part of those groups. It's hypocritical. It's what I state in the next video that I recorded before this one, but I chose to put it after. In this clip. So when it says the V2K stated that I set up the entrapment group that was talking about that video I recorded it myself that I'm going to post after this.
V2K stated I'm getting arrested by posting all this up and so on and so forth. Story of my life since the date. They failed to do it then, they're going to fail to do it now. I got a gift from God. You don't understand this. I'm trying to prove it in these moments. East Cleveland or Ohio, Michigan, Ukraine, church, Masons, occult, agnostic, whatever. But what based off of the facts of the last video presented about Shaquille Azir, the informant that set up Cleveland 5 that almost lured me the day before they did it. They tried to make me ask me to join their group and tell me they had that and they wanted to see if I wanted to go along. I declined. I tested them with a question in the video to see if they were trying to damage infrastructure, and they said they approved that they did, and I didn't know how to report it. Turns out I didn't have to. With that said, I should have had an attorney to this day. But I went ghost because of it. Now, I always had a problem since I witnessed that because of it. To this day, but I went to. With that said, I should have had an attorney to this day. But I went ghost because of it. Now, I always had a problem since I witnessed that firsthand on my own. You hear me? What's it called? That, and then you see what the news says about it, and then there's some sources that state more truth about it. Like this video I never saw before. What was I gonna say? I never understood why. Hold on. I never understood why FBI informants for 20-year-old individuals, and when this keeps happening year after year for different cases that has been proven for since the creation of the DHS, specifically after the falsified fake inside job of Nazi CIA, NSA run 9/11 Commission report never talked about Boeing uninterrupted fighter pilot or why Building 7 collapsed at all. The full commission report never said anything about it. Now, with that said, creation of the Patriot Act and the DHS allowed to a lot of Muslim entrapment with Muslim groups of what I am dealing with now. So I always have that solidarity as a direct survivor. I never understood why they would use an informant for people with quote-unquote DSM, CIA, Nazi DSM, German Science, Aryan DSM, what's it called? Mental disorders at 20, 23 years old, substance abuse issues or whatever, why you would send a federal informant to give them drugs, illegal drugs, informant to give them drugs, illegal drugs, and provide them with illegal drugs, manipulate their consciousness, and then induce them to purchase guns and then bombs and plot all together. After a year of doing the purchase guns and then bombs and plot all together, after a year of doing so, why this is my final point about this with the FBI that I witnessed firsthand. Why don't you send agents to coerce and persuade the individuals not to do shit like that are troubled minds, that are part of anarchist groups or neo-communist groups, neo-Nazi groups, whatever? Why don't you try to occult groups, terror groups? Why don't you try to persuade them to go to school, get a degree as a doctor, change their political ideology to direct democracy or representative democracy, free market system, so on and so forth, to switch to natural medicine, neuroscience, and understanding the United States patent list in relation to all this, understanding Operation Paperclip, and its relation to why the CIA was created or invaded and bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, its own Axis powers, and caused the Cold War, a U.S. ally during World War II. Understand that U.S. about the Soviets, whether you knew about the Holodomor or not. Why does these Nazi government agents not persuade individuals not to do it for years at a time? And then the person says, oh, thank you, I just needed someone to support me. And you got certified as a negotiator from FBI education. And then you stop somebody from committing a crime instead of entrap them over and over and over again for profit. And to my day, 24-hour gang stalking, a microchip in my left ear with a FISA kill list, a CIA clearance for MK Ultra terror watch list, FBI bullshit that shut down the entire Occupy movement internationally. That the whole Occupy movement internationally never understood that. It shut it down. That's the reason. If you look, the Cleveland Occupy said that they were a splinter group that started there and then started their own thing. And they still canceled their May service events. And then they've lost their license downtown. And then the whole movement shut down. This happened in other cities beyond that movement. I'm not defending the Occupy. I'm not against it either. I'm not saying anything about it, just that statement. Because I was observing it for a cultural anthropology class. And because I had to observe an event going on in the city, then I got caught up with it because I had no friends, and I was meeting people from getting news when I didn't even hear about the Occupy Wall Street in the mainstream media, whoever it's run by. 3 corporations run America. And what's it called? I had people coming from Denver, Oregon, Texas, or DC, New York, with like engineering degrees and actual doctors and whatnot. So I was hearing news. Oh shit. I am recording still. Great. I was like, oh damn, because I was mic recording and now I'm video recording. I thought I paused this and I was just rambling. I did that before a couple times, and that's evil because then they heard it all, and then I didn't get a chance to record it. All right, thank fucking God. All right, here we go. So that's all I had to say about that to this day. I just never understood that. So I lost all trust and respect from an event that I had to experience, and it changed. It taught me security on a level beyond federal of the United States. In being an international myself, family being from Ukraine, coming here in the 1950s after World War II. So that's all I have to say to the United States government. You should start implementing that and investigating 9/11 and investigating what I'm saying and doing something about the CIA and the NSA and the microchip programs. I did yesterday, accidentally. I got kicked out of 2100 on November 13th. Thursday, November 13th, 2025, as soon as I got there, because Stanley and this bald-headed fucking wannabe tough guy who get paid working at the shelter talking like this to certain people, thinking I'm some fucking Aryan, but I'm a Slav from Nazi reparations, so you better watch how the fuck you talk to me, and it's the last time I'm going to tell you that. He told me to take my hood down. I said, I'm paralyzed on my left side. What's it called? It's going to take me a minute to lift my hands and take this off. I keep it on 24 hours a day. Well, you got to take it off now. I said, I got to talk to you about something. I don't care what you got to say. You got to take it off now. I said, I will. Just give me a second. I won't walk through the building. I'll stand right by the security door. Just give me a second to raise my hand and take it off. He said, you could start yelling at me. I said, you don't got to talk to me like that. He said, well, you could get the fuck out the building then. And they looked like they were about to swing on me. So I hopped on my bike right by the security officer, rode out the fucking building while they chased me. Rode all the way to Superior and East 82nd. And because, I didn't even know where to go. I was going on St. Clair, cut down 63rd, 64th, and went cut side streets to Superior. I was going to make it back or go back, I don't know. I got locked from the terror stalkers that were following me. Check out the ones on the side streets. That was where the attack made me fall. On Donald. It looks like they're hitting the bumps in the road, but they got these devices. I'm telling you, the clicker, weapons of mass destruction, InfraGard, and all the Order 9 Angels, that's Muffin, and Nazi divisions of the, what's it called? Secret Gestapo, SS, SA. What's it called? Check that out and understand what I just said. I'm going to put a video together now that's going to put 2 facts together that from a statement on X and that somebody posted. I restarted it to put some facts out there because my video limits were reached on my YouTube. I posted as much videos as I could post yesterday, so I restarted my X, and then I'm going to record my X file, what I did last night, for a very interesting comparison of Taoism and the Christianity and natural medicine, neuroscience contribution with the United States patent list. I'll put that together here in a minute, but understand what I stated, FBI, specifically that worked through Shaquille O'Neal's entrapment through the Joint Coalition Task Force related to Kash Patel and the rest of the FBI and United States altogether. Understand what I said as a survivor. Why couldn't they do that? Why can't they abolish certain agencies, prove 9/11 was a conspiracy, and then the creation of the DHS and the Patriot Act was really a Nazi plot for Xerxon. And they keep entrapping people to do shit when they don't convince them not to, and that's a fucking crime, bro. That's the real crime. It's over.
Not only
I'm getting arrested by posting all this up, and so on and so.
Not only is that the real crime, as I just talked about, but when you do that to the individual, you set up their family, you set up their neighborhood, you set up their friends, you set up their acquaintances from birth, everyone, and you take over that area through your marketing of the individual through federal tax funding and calling them and labeling them a terrorist that you created, and you're the terrorist, and then you 24-hour gang stalk them with weapons of mass destruction and terror tactics because it's a Nazi-run regime within the United States, oligarchical, tied to international terrorism. We had the Nuremberg trials. I'm trying to show Israel. I'm not and Palestine, specifically, what's within the conflict zones of 2025. I don't address all the rest because they're all related as to why Israel and Hamas are both Nazi funded. Understand that because of the CIA. That's it for now. Let's see what the fuck happens.